Right ke mhlawumbe ngosaphula ke inkqubo ethi masifundisane. Ngibongani ke kaMathenjwa lo usemveni komboko. Ukhe ke ngawuxesha ke sathi ke sincokole naye uTyrone Magwagwa yena ke uyi-business speaker. Kuye ke sizabe ke sincokola naye. Kodwa ke yona nto ke sizabe ke sigxile kuyo kanye ke mhlawumbe sabe ke sifocus kuyo it's i-marketing kuba siyazi into ba i-business without i-marketing kuye kube nzinyana into ba ke ikwazi ukube kanti ke iyaphuma okanye iyaya ebantwini. So sizawuva ke kawubanzi kuye uTyrone into ba mhlawumbi kanye yintoni na i-marketing apha ke kwi-business, ibaluleke kangakanani na i-marketing apha ke kwi-business. Uba ngaba mhlawumbi ke nombuzo ufuna ukuzibuzela wona zakunika ithuba ke xa ngaba kuphela ke olu udliwano ndlebe mandukuvundlise mphulaphula into ba ke olu udliwano ndlebe ke lushicilelwe ngexesha. All right, Mr. Magwagwa, mandukubulise ndiphinde ndikwamkele eZibonele FM. How are you, my brother?
I'm all right. Good afternoon, South Africa. I am very happy to be here and speaking to Mr. Bongani.
Can you just say evening so that
Okay, good evening, South Africa. Very excited to be here with you. Yeah.
All right. In a nutshell, can you just tell us what do you do as a business speaker?
Okay, so as a business speaker, I get invited by companies and organizations to speak either to their employees and speak to their people, to their staff about certain matters, if it's with regards to marketing or them doing sales and improving their sales. So that's what I do in terms of improving their sales and helping them to grow their businesses, helping them to expand their businesses so that they can have a more global reach than just staying being local heroes. Yeah.
You're a younger person and you're doing business speaking. How old are you?
I'm very young. I'm only 24 years old.
24
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have a background of a business, or you?
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Yes. So I studied that, and I got to. I have people that have helped me and to grow in terms of my knowledge and my experience. So I have coaches, mentors, life coaches, but when it comes to marketing, I've had some of the best. The world's best marketing experts coach me on the knowledge that I have with regards to marketing and branding. Yeah.
All right. What are the challenges that you're facing as a young person who does maybe this business speaking?
Challenge number one, Bongani, challenge number one is people looking at my age and thinking that I probably don't have anything to say that can help them. Or people looking at my age and saying, oh, okay, he's only 24, or what can he tell us? And you go, and I've been in meetings where I'm sitting with people that are twice, thrice, even three times more my older than me, and they have to listen to what I'm saying, and sometimes it's difficult for them until I start speaking. Then they will say, okay, maybe it's worth listening to. Or sometimes some of them will just say, what can he? And depending with the audience as well, sometimes it's my skin color. They will say, oh, he's black, so what can he tell us? But it's some of the challenges that I've experienced. My age has been a challenge for me, but your age is only a factor if you have nothing to say.
That's true.
If you have something to say, people will listen to what you're saying. If you don't have something to say, people will just say, people won't listen to you because you don't have a story. You're not worth listening to.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now let's go to marketing.
Yeah.
What is marketing?
Okay. So the thing is, people don't understand what marketing is, because now the world that we're living in, people just think marketing is posting a meaningless ad on Facebook and just saying that I sell tomatoes, then people flock and buy what I'm selling. But it is so much bigger than that, because now with 7.3 billion people in the world that we have now, everyone is shouting and screaming out, and what they're screaming for is attention.
Okay.
So it is a matter of seeking attention. People are looking for attention. They want to get attention. You want to be recognized as someone who is worth buying, or someone who's worth even giving attention to. attention is the only thing that we must be paying attention to. This is what people don't understand. Marketing is not trying to sell something. Marketing is about firstly creating a brand that people can recognize that this brand has value. When people recognize that that brand has value, then people will be able to buy. Okay. How many products can you find? Now I'm asking you a question. How many products can you find in a store like Gain?
More than 500.
More than 10,000 actually. Yeah. You can see, they will see if they're selling TVs. They're selling TVs from maybe 5-10 different brands. Yeah. And all of those brands are looking for one thing, attention. Okay. But then if you market something that is not marketable, no one will buy. If you market something that no one wants, no one will buy. So marketing is about giving people the value that they need and showing a person and proving to a person that what I have, what I'm selling, you need it more than me selling it to you. I'm doing you a favor in actually you buying this. So that's what marketing is all about. It's about me actually showing you that I'm doing you a favor and giving you what I'm selling. I might use the money. Zig Ziglar says that salespeople that market products can use up their money and can sell a product, let's say for 1,000 rand, and that 1,000 rand can be used up in a week. But whatever, if I sell a mic for 1,000 rand, I might use that money for a week, but the person who bought the mic can use that mic for 10 years. So who benefited in this deal? The person who bought. So marketing is about proving to the person who is the consumer, the prospective buyer, to say that I'm actually doing you a favor and you buying whatever that I'm selling.
All right. Yeah. So how do you create attention? And I want to find out, what are the steps of marketing a brand or a business?
The first step is creating a brand.
Okay.
That is the first step. The first step is creating a brand. Because the thing is, think about it this way. If you are to if you are to take the Apple logo and you put it on a Nokia phone, that phone will automatically cost twice as much. Why? Because Apple is a brand. Yeah. So it is about creating a brand. That is the most important thing. Creating a brand. And how do you actually create a brand? Firstly, understand what you stand for. Understand what you stand for, because if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. That is the most important thing. Second thing that you need to do is you need to create an experience. Because if you look at it, Apple, when they sell their products, they don't sell you the product to say this is going to be, we sell the best product. This is what everyone is doing on Facebook. I have the best this, I have the best clothing line, I have the best something. But it's not about that. Apple, when they came, Steve Jobs came out in his white t-shirt and blue jeans, and he said that I imagine walking with 1,000 songs in your pocket. He was selling the iPod. Guess what happened? People started flocking to buy that iPad. But what did the competitors do? At the time, Dell had released their own MP3 player. And what they were marketing this and saying that this is the best marketing, this is the best MP3 player in the world. It was probably the best, but it flopped. We don't know about it because they came out at it wrong. Because what you need to do is to sell the experience. Sell the experience of your brand, how a person would feel. Somebody once said that there are about 20,000 moments that are created in a day. Because people will always forget what you do for them, but they will never forget how you make them feel. If you make a person feel good about wearing something, it's about clothes. Right? For example, with clothes. If I feel good wearing something, I'm going to buy it. It doesn't matter how much it costs, but I'm going to buy it because it makes me feel good. So it is very important to actually understand that the experience that you create with your brand is what sells your brand. I'll give you one last example. There's a motorbike called a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson sells the most motorbikes. and they make a lot of money selling motorbikes. What makes Harley Davidson different? Harley Davidson is the only motorcycle company that gives a 40-year-old accountant the strength and the ability to ride a motorcycle, wear a gangster-looking jacket, and look fierce while riding it. So what do they sell? They sell freedom. They sell freedom. So you need to understand what you're standing for and what you're selling. Because if you're selling price to say, I sell the cheapest, you're not going to become global. Wow. If you're selling price, there's a problem with price. This is the worst thing that people make. Try to sell the products for cheap. And I always tell people that cheap things are expensive. Yeah. Cheap things are expensive. So Harley Davidson does that, and they sell a lot, millions of motorbikes, and people buy them because they want that freedom to look fierce. You know, maybe a person is a softie, but when I ride that motorbike, I feel like I own the world. It's about the feeling that your brand is giving. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. And then I just want to touch on, like, because you've mentioned you need to create a brand.
Yeah.
Is it part of creating a brand, logos and social media and other stuff? Is it also part of creating a brand?
Yes, so what you're talking about is called brand identity.
Okay.
So brand identity is basically what the things, that the components that you create to promote your brand, so that people can recognize and say, oh, this is iPhone, this is Samsung, this is Huawei. So it's a differentiating factor.
Okay.
So logos are very important. Actually, design evokes an emotional reaction. Colors, I won't go too deep into that, because the colors you choose actually determine how people feel about it. They actually send out a statement about what your brand is about. So it is very important for you to have a logo. It is very important for you to have a website. It is very important for you for you to have a social presence, for people to find you on Facebook, for people to find you on Instagram, for people to find you on Twitter, for people to have a YouTube channel where you post videos. You could be selling clothes, but there's some concept called content marketing, where you are selling something, but you go and educate people on how to use something that you're selling, but you're not selling them what you're selling. I don't know if that makes sense. Right. You're not telling people to come and buy your products, but you're educating them on a product that you're selling. Wow. I'll give you an example. I could be selling clothes myself. If I'm selling clothes, then what do? I can open a YouTube channel where I educate people on how to dress, how to match. Okay, if you put this clothes and this t-shirt and this jean together and this thing together, it will look like this. So in that way, you are marketing your business, but in an indirect way. Okay. Because the thing is, the problem is, remember what I was saying when I was saying that people are overloaded with information. Everyone is saying, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. And like the reason why people don't end up buying from certain people is, it's like this. If a girl is sitting on a chair, and there are about 1 million guys after her, and they are trying to grab her attention, and there's this one guy who's just sitting there looking cool, like he doesn't really care about her, but he's really showing that he's there and he's present there, he's next to her, she's going to be more drawn to her than the other ones that are trying to force to grab her attention. So that's what it's about. That's what it's really about. Social media is important. Every social site depends. You have to understand where your audience is. Yeah. You have to understand where your audience is, because if your audience is in a particular place, if you're looking for people that are 18 years and younger, you can't go on Facebook because they're not on Facebook. You will need to go on Instagram. So you need to understand all of those demographics to say, I am targeting ABCD, and I will find ABCD on this platform. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Right ke phela ke ngoku ke sisahleli ke naye ubanina uTyrone Magwagwa yena ke uyi-business speaker. Uba ngaba ke mhlambi kulo mbuzo ufuna ukuzibuzela wona ungazimbuza ke umbuzo xa kuphela ke oludliwano ndlebe sawuthi ke sikubambe ke sive kuwe into yoba ke mhlambi luthini na okanye ke uthini na wena mhlambi okanye uthini wakho umbuzo kulo mba ke sincokola ngayo. Sincokola ke ngomba ke we-marketing usasichazela ke about steps of create attention and steps of steps of marketing. So you've just said creating a brand. Are there other steps that you need to follow when you marketing your business? How many steps in?
We can't say steps per se. If you're using, you just need to understand where you're marketing your products. So if you're using social media, you spoke about social media, you need to understand now the time that you're posting, where you're going to be posting that. You need to understand also the most important thing, that you understand who you are. Who you are can be embodied in your core value, which is your what, why, and why. Your what, why, and who. Okay. Your core values, your mission, and your vision. Wow. So when you understand those things, then you're able to communicate that to the world. So how you're communicating that? So it's about understanding that first, then you communicate it to the world. Yeah. Then people will buy what you stand for. They will buy something that they believe in, not something that they just seeing because it's nice or because it's cheap. So it's understanding that will make you to be able. One thing, what are some of the reasons why people buy? You need to understand that people buy, there's what is called status buy. So a person would want to buy something of value, or someone would buy something because if I buy a Mercedes Benz, it will make me feel like I've qualified or I've graduated into this certain lifestyle. So if you are targeting people that are a certain income bracket, then you need to make sure that your product lives up to the standard that you're going to be selling to, or to the audience that you're going to be selling to. So you need also to understand your audience market. That is the most important thing as well.
And you must be ready.
Yes.
All right. So other people, they believe that in marketing, you need to go on TV, radio, newspapers. What are other channels that you can use to market your brand besides the media?
You can use every channel that you feel your audience, because if you understand, if you are selling to an audience that is not on social media, then you need to go where they are. If your audience is still reading newspapers, you need to go where they are. If your audience is not on social media and they're not reading newspapers, then you need to go back 20 years ago and go to door-to-door marketing, because that's where your audience is. So you need to find out where your audience is, then you go there. Because if you go where your audience is not, you will not be successful in marketing your business or brand. It's important to understand where your audience is. You can use TV if your audience is there. You can use newspapers. You can use door-to-door marketing if your audience is there. If they are not, I wouldn't advise you to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
We've seen like people using like door-to-door marketing. They would use like giving out pamphlets, and now it's becoming boring, and like it's becoming boring. If you see someone having papers, you know that the person is like marketing a product. What can you say like to people? Because I'm sure there are other things that you can like you can try to be different, like using a loudspeaker to market your business. Are there other, maybe you can advise those people?
Yeah, so you need to be smart and intentional about your marketing. You need to think outside the box. There's one of my, Coca-Cola does the best advertising campaigns ever for me. They use different. There's this one advert where they put a vending machine in a high school, and after putting this vending machine, a person would buy and they would give a person more than what they bought, and it was just a way for them to market. So when you're marketing your brand, you have to think out of the box. You have to think broad. Don't just think, okay, maybe this person is using this, then I'll have to use that. Think out of the box. Use certain things, maybe other people have not used. Think of something that has not been done before. Yeah.
All right. You've also mentioned about colors when you're creating maybe a brand. How important like to have a outstanding color like yellow, red, and not those dark colors. What is the difference between the bright and the dark colors when you're creating your own brand?
So bright colors portray life. So they say that this thing that is lively, it's alive. So every color that you choose sends out a different message. It sends out a different message. If you put a color like gold, it represents prestige. If you put a color like purple, it represents something like royalty. So it all depends with the color that you're choosing, but what you're doing as well. I've seen some people that use your black and red for their logos and their company colors, and it works for them in the way that is ShopRite uses red and yellow. It works for them. Some of the colors might be dull and it might put a person off just by looking at it. Say, this is something that is not organized. Like, this is something that I don't. Africa has been associated with having things that are not up to standard, But now the thing is, if we create good logos that have good colors, we are able then to represent the world and to create brands that people can look at and say, this is actually very nice. So the colors that you choose send out a different message, send out a message to the people. But then the question is, ask yourself, what message do I want to send out to the people? What do I want to portray to the people? I'll ask you this question that the audience needs to ask themselves. What is the first thing I want people to think of when they think of my name or my brand? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of ShopRite? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Checkers? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Samsung? So, as a company or as a small business owner, ask yourself, what is the thing that I want my audience or whoever is going to be buying from me, what is it that I want them to get from what I'm selling or from my business? If they understand that, okay, the first thing that comes to their mind is, okay, this is something of royalty, then you choose the colors that will embody that statement. Yeah.
Wow. All right. In closing, what can you say to our listeners? And also, do you have your social media? If maybe someone wants to invite you to to their business, to speak to their staff, where can they get hold of you?
Okay, so in closing, I would like to say, South Africa, that we have to be intentional about our marketing. We have to be intentional about what we are doing. If we are going out there, quit going on Facebook and saying that you have the best tomatoes. Quit going on Facebook and everybody's saying that. Everyone is saying that they have the best product. Ask yourself what's going to make you different from what everyone is selling. What is going to make your tomatoes better than what everybody's selling? Position your company, your brand in a different way that will make people, that will attract people and have so that you can grab people's attention. It is very difficult to get people's attention, but once you get it, you need to be able to keep it. And as for my social media accounts, people can go to my website, which is tyronemagwagwa.co.za. So TYRONEMAGWAGWA.co.za.
All right. Your number, if you have an office number.
Yes, 0782 435 572.
Alright. Right ke mphulaphuli ke binguye ke uTyrone kaMagwagwa lowo ke oyi-business speaker esichazela ke nge-importance of i-marketing. Ndaqonda into yoba ke mhlawumbi ke ufunde ke into eninzi. Uba ngaba ke mhlawumbi kunombuzo ofuna ukuzibuzela wona ngo-021 361 8962 kake phaa ko-062 814 1918 uzibuzele ke umbuzo